One thing which works in America is lobbying. I know I met somebody when I was in Denver, in Aspen, who actually brought about the entire Darfur, Sudan plight to the mainstream of American media. We got to do that. We need to go engage lobby firms in America. We need to go talk to congressmen. We need to talk to senators. We need to talk to members in the cabinet and tell them that you can't do business with Pakistan anymore. You can't trade with them. You can't. We can go tell Coca-Cola that if you want to be in India, you need to shut down your plant in Pakistan. If Toyota wants to sell cars in India, we must go and tell them that we will not buy cars if you're going to sell them in Pakistan. We want to cripple Pakistan economically. We need to cripple the economic, military, industrial complex of Pakistan. That's the only way it will work. This is a serious problem. And until we take serious measures, this will not clamp down. I know there is an escalation of tension in the borders now. I know our jets are scrambling, their jets are scrambling, and I know General Mullen was here, Secretary Condoleezza Rice was here, Senator McCain was here, Senator Kerry was here. I mean, I've never seen so many American visitors come into India in the last 1 week. But it's all very good. Why are they coming here? And I spoke to Frank before this. I said, I'm going to be undiplomatic. I'm going to speak very frankly here. I said, America has got a vested interest. They don't want us to go to war with Pakistan because they don't want the theatre of action to shift from Afghanistan to Kashmir. They want to keep the Pakistani troops and the logistical supplies there in Afghanistan, helping the American troops fight the Taliban there. I think that's an important war, to fight the Taliban. But let's not forget that the Kashmir Indian border with Pakistan is also a serious problem area. In order to shift, and perhaps this whole strikes in Bombay was done to shift India's focus into that area so they could withdraw from the Afghanistan area and come here. I don't know. I know Mr. Simkin and others would be a lot more knowledgeable about this, and I'm sure he can't speak about it. But we need to put pressure on Pakistan. We need to put pressure on Pakistan. We need to put global pressure on Pakistan. If North Korea can be a pariah state, North Korea hardly attacks anybody, but they are a pariah state in this world. There's so much sanctions against North Korea. The only thing they do is they do some dud missile tests once in a while, and they wear some funny suits, and they do military exercises, and America punishes them for that. America punishes Cuba. America punishes Cuba. But why isn't America punishing Pakistan? And I think this group must take that cause up. You must put pressure. I'm sure you're all well networked with America. You do business with America. You go on cultural trips to America. You need to put that pressure in a lot more organized manner. Organized pressure needs to be put on the decision-making process in America to change its attitude to Pakistan and to isolate Pakistan globally. And I think it's time in India. I think this can be done outside the political leadership of India. This can be done by the upper middle class business community of India. We can go there and take decisions. If you're supplying to companies, you can actually take the decision. I think this can be done. And if we can show leadership even in this kind of initiative, I think we'll see change. Change won't come quickly, but it will come. Thank you very much.
Now the question and answer session start. We can shoot the questions pertaining to the subject.
60% of the people in India vote. 40% of the people includes all of you. So unless you come out and vote, nobody's going to listen to you. We do what's necessary to win elections. As every company does what's necessary to win market share, political parties do what's necessary to win elections. If there are other concerns which we're not addressing, and if these concerns get reflected in a sizable population which will come out and support that party, that change will happen. That change can only happen not by going and educating the political class. That change can only happen by jolting the political class by coming out and voting. Especially in urban areas, voting is less than 50%. The 60% happens because it's 75% in the rural areas and 50% here, and then it averages out to 60. So if more people come out and vote, more people who don't normally vote, if no sections of the population, and are seeing a change in the quality of people who come into parliament and assemblies, then you will see this reflection. Your concerns will get reflected. That happened in America this time. There were more people who ever voted in this American election than ever before. That's why you had this change. I mean, if it's a change, let's see the change after 20 years. Shortage of patriotism or identity of India here. I think all of us are mature enough, we can all have multiple identities. I think everybody in the world has multiple identities. I mean, somebody's, even in America, if you go, they say I'm an Anglo-Saxon Christian American, or an African American, or an Asian American. I don't think that takes anything away. I think I'm quite proud to say that I'm Indian, I'm Tamil, I'm Hindu, and I think I can be all three at the same time equally. And one doesn't take something away from the other. And we are an open society, and I wish we are always an open society. I really don't want us to become a clamped down police state where everybody's stopping you every 50 yards, asking you for your papers. So I really don't think that we are short of patriotism or Indianness in us. I really don't think it's a big problem. So if you ask me what's the big problem, I think we have bad infrastructure. That's a bigger problem than having a lack of Indianness. I first of all think that India is not run by one person. So I think we must first of all understand that the powers of the Prime Minister are not absolute. He's not a monarch of this country, and his writ doesn't run, his or her writ doesn't run large everywhere. We are a federal setup. In fact, local government and state governments actually touch our lives a lot more than central government. All your day-to-day problems actually have to be addressed by state governments. Water, roads, school, police, electricity, it's all state governments. So I really don't think that the Prime Minister of India, whoever he or she might be, can actually wave a magic wand and make all the problems go away. What I'd like to see is more effective government at every level. Empower people at every level, right from the panchayat. Make sure that the revenues raised at those levels are spent there, and have accountability at various levels. That's really what. I really don't think one person or just a small group of people can bring about great change in India. They can perhaps be catalysts for the change, but it is democracy working day to day, unglamorous, governmental functioning at the grassroots level which will actually bring about this great change. And if as Prime Minister, inshallah, it happens one day, I'll make sure that government functions. Government functions at every single level, right from the panchayat. Somebody's supposed to clear the garbage in a village, and he's actually clearing the garbage, and there is a scientific way to dispose of garbage, and make sure that that's happening at that level. But I really don't think Prime Minister itself can really run the country, because if we are a parliamentary democracy, we need to have leaderships at every level. We need to have many leaders at all levels of society to bring about great change. As far as reservation for women is concerned, I know my mother is here. She is completely an opponent to reservation for women. I must tell you that, because I've seen reservation for women actually work in local government. We have the largest number of elected women representatives in the world, because we have 33% reservation for women in panchayats. It actually works quite well. Had it not been for that reservation, I don't think many women would have come forward to serve in panchayat level office. Initially, all of them were either wives or sisters or daughters of the chap who would have normally contested. Even initially, that's what it was. And in fact, in the first term, when they all went to their panchayat meetings, the husband, brother or son actually went along with them. But I've seen a sea change. When they got elected the second time, these guys were all not there. They actually got empowered. So I've actually seen women take charge, get empowered, and happen. But I'm not too sure we need it at the parliamentary level. I'm not too sure, but I know it's going to happen sooner rather than later. But it might be a good thing, a bad thing. But I think it is very essential at the panchayat level. But at the parliament and assembly levels, what prevents political parties from nominating 1/3 of the candidates of women now? And when we've had so-called empowered women even in this state, I mean, especially when they've ruled this state, they've hardly nominated women in their own parties. So what's preventing them now? So to put this onus on the government saying, why aren't you giving reservation? I think the onus should be put on political party leadership saying, why aren't you nominating 1/3 women right now? What prevents them from doing that? There is no bar in nominating out of the, say, 234 constituencies. A political party can say that I will put 80 candidates as women. They don't. They put only 10, 12, whatever it is. So I think the onus can be shifted to the political parties. But I think the 33% reservation will come, but it will perhaps take some time. I'm not a cricketer, Andrew, but I have to tell you, Jeff Boycott went into a celebrated English cricketer, now a celebrated English commentator, could not tour India because he went and toured South Africa. That's how harsh we were. That's how harsh we were to South Africa. And I think what's happening in Pakistan is far more dangerous and far more cynical and far more sinister than whatever happened in South Africa. So we must be much harsher to Pakistan. Cripple their business. That's what I do. Start writing to all your American friends. Tell them that don't buy products of companies which are doing business in Pakistan. Don't buy a T-shirt if it's made in Pakistan. Lots of T-shirts are made in Pakistan. Don't sell stuff to Pakistan. Don't give visas to Pakistani businessmen to come to America. Don't play cricket with Pakistan. Finish them off. That's the way to finish them off. Indian way, 21st century way. Thank you.
Can you give a fitting response by giving a round of applause to him?
Last, quick.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Just one last question. Why is it
So you have a social network to protect you. But at a village